Welcome to this episode. In this episode I will show you the blend tool. You can access the blend tool in two ways. I will show you the first way first. The first way is through the toolbar on the left, and it's this icon with those three from a circle to a square, or you can use the W on your keyboard. Okay, I will make some shapes first to show you what you can do with the blend tool. Make just a rectangle, another rectangle. Go back with the V to my selection tool. I'm going to make this one a little bit smaller. Stroke is black, that's alright. Make it red. And this one I want a red stroke and a blue fill. Let's make it. I'll make the stroke a little bit bigger. Also on this one, so we can see it a little bit better. Alright. There are two ways to do this. You can first give the options, or first make the blend and then adjust the options. So I will make the blend first. So I click on the blend tool or push W on my keyboard. I click on the first object and then I click on the second object. Now you will see it made a blend. But probably this is not what we wanted, so we want to adjust the options. Then you double click on the blend tool and you get the blend options. You have a few options. You have a smooth color. I turn on the preview. Okay, so specified steps. Now you see my last use of this tool, I used 4 steps, so it remembers my last steps. So if I want to make more steps, I make it 5. You see it change here. I do it again. I do it with my arrow up to make it go higher, 6. And you see it change. So I can change the amount of objects it makes between the two objects I selected. And you can see the border is red and that's changing to black. It's changing very gently. So it's making a gradient. And inside the red is going to blue, also with a gradient. So the more items you select, the more it will become a smooth gradient. So I can also make 200 of this if I wanted to, and then you see it will smooth it out completely. Maybe even more. No, I don't think that's better than 200. Make it 100. So you see the lines now. So the bigger you go, the smoother the transition will be. So I will cancel for now. So we go back to the 4 steps in between. Also to notice, the steps are always the steps in between, because the steps were 4, but I have 6 objects. So it will only count the objects it needs to put in the middle of the 2 objects you already selected. So this one and this one won't count. So double click it again. And you can see it's back because I cancelled at 4. The next option is specify the distance. Now you don't have steps but pixels. So I can say 50 pixels. Oh, turn preview on. So now it's, you specified how much distance there's between, and the other is how many steps. So now it's calculating how many steps it needs to make this distance. So if I put it at 100, you see it's needing less steps because you made the distance bigger. So you need to go smaller here to make it smoother. You see, 5 pixels in between. It needs so many items you can't even see them anymore. So distance is the distance between the objects. Steps is the objects it puts between the 2 you selected. Okay, I will delete this for now and we'll make some other shape. I'll make it a little bit more interesting. So I will make a circle. I wanted to make a perfect circle with the shift key, and I'll copy this one to make a crescent moon. And if you saw my other episodes where I show you how you can use the Pathfinder to make a crescent moon, I think I even showed the crescent moon in the in that episode. I will get rid of the stroke for this one, copy it with the Alt key, make it smaller and hold the Shift key to keep it in proportion. And I want to change the color to yellow. Okay. So now we select both those objects. We go to Object, and here Blend, and Blend Options. You can do it the same as with the tool in the bar. First make it, and then change the options, or first change the options. Because if I do options now, I will show you. I can say it, I want this, okay, nothing happens. I still have to make the blend. You see now I only have a color transition, and the computer is calculating for you how it should blend into the yellow. So you see a kind of rainbow effect. So let's look at the options. Blend options. Now it automatically did smooth color, and that's very nice. But again, here we have the options to make it the steps. You can see it used 254 steps for this blend. So if I want it less, say 150, then you get a little edge here, like a saw. So maybe that's a good way to make a saw. That is nice of the blend tool. It's not only used to make a transition between objects and color. You also can use it to make another shape. So in this, by accident actually, I made a saw. I make it a little bit harsh, a little bit lower. You can see, so if you need a saw shape, you can make it in this way really easy. Hey, you make a shape that has the curve that you want, and then you repeat it as many times as you need to make it. And then you have a saw. You can use this blend tool for a lot of different projects. So you can see now I made it smaller, but you also can see that the color is less smooth. You can see some circles here. So it's less smooth than you might want. So depending on which is important to you, you may need to adjust your steps. And again, you also have the option to the distance. Now it's 4 pixels. You can see a very fine edge here. So if I make it bigger, you see it's quite big. But if I made it smaller, it's really fine. There is still a little bit of an edge, but it's really fine. So if you want it completely smooth, the best way would be to use the smooth color, or to use the steps in, it was 254, so I'll make that again. So these are the 3 options you can use to make your transition, whatever transition you want. You can change the orientation, and I showed you the 2 ways how you can access this tool. So through the bar, with the W on your keyboard, double click it for the options, for these options, okay? Or go to Object and then the Blend. And then you have the options and the make. There are some more tool options, and there are more options also to work with it after you make this blend, but that's for another episode, or maybe a little bit further in a course, because I'm not sure I can do that in 10 minutes. So if you want to learn more about this tool, let me know in the comments, and I will see what I can do for you. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode.